Hi friends, so today we are going to see transducer. Now agenda of this presentation is introduction to transducer, then classification of transducer, then a resistive transducer. These are the various types of transistor, then capacitive transducer, then inductive transducer, voltage and current transducer, and lastly self-generating transducer. Now let us see what is meant by transducer. So as you know, a transducer is a device that converts energy from one form to another. Usually a transducer converts a signal in one form of energy into signal into another form, right? So that is the function of transducer. So now factors to be considered while selecting a transducer are these. There are various factors. First one is it should have high input impedance and low output impedance to avoid loading effect. Now what is meant by impedance? Impedance means total opposition to alternating current by an electric circuit. So that's why it should have high input impedance and low output impedance so that it can accurately measure the signal. Second, it should have good resolution over the entire selection range. So whatever range we have selected for that particular transducer, so for that range it should have good resolution. Next is it must be highly sensitive to desired signal and insensitive to unwanted signal. Next, it should be preferably small in size. It should be handy. Then it should be able to work in corrosive environment. Then the transducer should be able to withstand pressure, shocks, vibrations, etc. Again, it must have high degree of accuracy and repeatability. Next, selected transducer must be free from errors, so we can get the accurate reading. Then the transducer circuit should have overload protection so that it will withstand overload. Okay, so these are the various factors that has to be considered while selection of a transducer. Next, classification of transducer. So now there are various types of transducer. First one is active and passive transducer. Second is according to transduction principle. Then according to analog and digital transducer. Then according to primary and secondary transducer, and forward transducer and inverse transducer. Okay. Now let us see resistive transducer. It is a type of transducer. The most commonly used type of transducer is variable resistance transducer. Okay, so it is also called as resistive sensors. It measures temperature, pressure, displacement, force and vibration. So these resistive sensors work on a principle that the conductor length is directly proportional to the resistance of the conductor and it is inversely related to the area of conductor. So it works on this principle. So it can be the resistance can be given as R equal to rho multiplied by A divided rho multiplied by L divided by A, where R is the resistance of conductor, L is the conductor length, A is the area of the conductor and rho is the resistivity and it is constant for all the material that is be used for conductor construction, right? Now these are the various examples of resistive transducer. First one is resistance strain gauge. So when the change in the value of the resistance of a metal semiconductor due to elongation or compression, so for that purpose resistance strain gauge is used, and it is used for the measurement of torque, displacement or force. Another type of resistive transducer is resistance thermometer. So all these types are based on resistance offered by the metal or semiconductor. So resistance thermometer is the change in resistance of a metal wire due to change in temperature, and it is used for measurement of temperature. Then next is resistance hygrometer. The change in resistance of a conductive strip due to change of moisture content is known by the value of its corresponding humidity. So basically it is used to measurement of humidity. Next is hot wire meter. Here the change in resistance of a heating element due to convection cooling of a flow of gas, and it is used to measure gas flow or pressure. Next is photoconductive cell. Here the change in resistance of a cell due to corresponding change in the light flux, and it is used to measure the light intensity, right? Then thermistor, the change in resistance of a semiconductor, and it is known to measure temperature. Then potentiometer, so here the change in resistor due to movement of the slider as a part of external force applied, and it is used to measure pressure or displacement. So these are the various types of resistive transducer. Now next is capacitive transducer. Here a capacitor consists of two conductors plates that are electrically isolated from one another by a non-conductor, or it is also known as dielectric material. So we have seen the construction of capacitor, just same thing is applied here. When two conductors are at different potential or at different voltage, the system is capable of storing an electric charge. The storage capability of a capacitor is measured in farads. The principle of operation of capacitive transducer is based upon the equation of capacitance of a parallel plate capacitor, which is given as capacitance C is equal to epsilon multiplied by A divided by D, where A is the area of the plate and D is the distance between the two plates. Then next is inductive transducer. Here an inductive sensor is a device that uses the principle of electromagnetic induction to detect or measure objects. So an inductor develops a magnetic field when current flows through it alternatively, and a current will flow through a circuit containing an inductor when the magnetic field through it changes. This effect can be used to detect metallic objects that interact with the magnetic field. It cannot be used for non-metallic object or dirt. The inductive sensor is based upon Faraday's law of induction. Then next is voltage and current transducer. Example of this type of transducer is Hall effect pickup. So it is used as a potential difference is generated across a semiconductor plate, generally germanium, when magnetic flux interacts with an applied current. Application of this type of transducer is to measure magnetic flux and current. Then photo emission cell, electron transmission due to incident radiation on the photoemissive surface. Application to measure light and radiations. Then photomultiplier tube, secondary electron emission due to incident radiation on the photosensitive cathode. Application light to measure light and radiation or photosensitive relays. Next is self-generating transducer. So they do not require any external power and produce an analog voltage or current when stimulated by some physical form of energy. They don't require any external power to work. Example are thermocouple and thermopile, which is used as an EMF is generated across a junction of two dissimilar metals or semiconductors when the junction is heated. That we have seen. Application measurement of temperature, heat flow and radiation. Next is moving coil generator. Motion of a coil in a magnetic field generates a voltage. It is based on this principle. Application measure velocity and vibration. Then next is piezoelectric pickup principle. An EMF is generated when an external force is applied to certain crystalline materials such as quartz. Application measurement of sound, vibration, acceleration, pressure changes. For this purpose piezoelectric is used. And lastly, photovoltaic cell. A voltage is generated in a semiconductor junction device when radiant energy stimulates the cell. Applications light meter and solar cell. So friends, that was about the transducer, then transducer types. So we have seen various types of transducer and their application. Okay, thank you.